What up, peoples? It's your main man, Dex the Algo Capitalist, coming to you live from postwavetrading.com. And this is the morning show. Only thing is, it's afternoon. So we are running very late today. So I had prior engagements. But I'm here now. I couldn't leave you hanging now, could I? You know that's not how we do. So, when the cat is away, the mice will play. And I see that the Bitcoin futures are doing something interesting today. We're down 2,935 points, trading at 69,175 on the futures after topping out this morning at 72,465. So, what may be brewing here? Well, I think today's close is going to be monumental because it's going to set up everything for tomorrow's CPI, followed by Thursday's PPI, and then followed by Friday's jobless claims. So I think the markets are starting to move themselves into position. Even your crude oil is down $1.17 a barrel today, trading at $85.26 after hitting an $86.97 per barrel in the morning. Then looking here at silver, silver has also pulled back from the day's highs. It rallied to $28.43 an ounce. Now it's only at $28.18 per ounce. Gold is up $16 an ounce, trading at $2,367 after topping out this morning at $2,384.40 an ounce. And I see here that the Dow is down 177 points at 39,042 after dipping into the 38,000 handle. It went to 38,873. In the S&P 500 rallied to 52.74 half today, but hit a low of 52.08 and three quarters. We're now down 20 and a half points at 52.32 and three quarters. The NASDAQ 100 topped out today at 18,405 and fell to a low of 18,160 and a quarter and is now down 37 and a quarter points at 18,257 even. And the Russell is up only 0.2 points at 2092.80. It topped out at 2106.70, could not hold the 21 handle and fell to 2080.9. So quite a little bit of reversal here, but I think today's close for a majority of the markets is going to be paramount. So what we've seen so far today is absolutely nothing. I would chalk it up to just noise. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just noise. The real deal is going to be how the markets finish today. Because of how things have been going, I would not be surprised to see all the markets turn around and rally into the close today. That wouldn't shock me, not even in the slightest. It's just how the markets have been behaving as of late. And so this is nothing really different than that. So I'm not surprised at the way the price action has been behaving today. Not everything is pulse waving negative, believe it or not. The Russell is not pulse waving negative today. It is not. Neither is the S&P. Nope, it is not. The NASDAQ is pulse waving negative. Yeah, sure. And so is the Dow. But the S&P and the Russell are not. So that's a mixed market. That's a mixed sentiment. Your US dollar index is holding that 104 handle at 104.14, and it's up 70 pips. And that's putting pressure on your euro, your pound sterling, and your Aussie is actually rallying, catching a little bit of a bid off the goal, made it back above the 66 handle, rallied to 66.58. So that's what we would expect. So we're watching it. We got our eye on things. We're going to see how these markets close today. All right. It is what it is. let's see. Oh, what up, Thomas? He says, pleasant surprise to see the notification. Something hit the tape today on the U.S. Canadian VIX and the SPY. Yeah, I also heard something about the yen today too. As a matter of fact, they were talking about how the yen was, trying to do a multi-year rally. Um, Looking at it, let me see what I got here because I've been watching some of these too, and I mean it's all right. It's not. It doesn't have me over here bugging like, oh, I gotta get in on this. You gotta get long this market, or you gotta get short this market. I just don't. I don't see that type of enthusiasm going on. Looking here at this yen, yeah, the yen is really topped out for the last 2 weeks. I don't know what they're talking about. Um, 152 seems to be the psychological resistance for the dollar yen. So I don't know what they're all hyping about. They should have talked about this a couple of months ago, maybe, but not not now after it's already showing a flat top. It's looking like the market drop could come here too. So I don't know. Like I said, today's close is going to be paramount for a lot of these markets. Okay, my man Tom says somebody got the CPI at 4%. Leak and hit that sell button early. Saw a Kramer tweet blaming tax season, but I thought the tax selling was in December. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. As far as the whole tax thing, I did hear something. I didn't get the whole gist of it, but they were talking about a change in the tax code, like them lowering exemptions and things of that nature. So, you know, in effect, basically like raising taxes on the poor. So, yeah, that's not so cool. I'm not really feeling that, not at all. But we do have some interesting things to talk about in these markets today for that I think you'll find rather interesting. Give me just a second here. All right, here we go. So, as far as what's the buzz is about today, we got Mr. Diamond in the news. Okay, Diamond's annual letter to shareholders grabs the business world's attention in ways most executives can only imagine. BlackRock's Larry Fink falls into this camp as well. The letter goes beyond a recap of JP Morgan's current state, often opinion the biggest issues facing the US and global economies. Unsurprisingly, artificial intelligence was the topic. This time around, Diamond described the tech as just as innovative and impactful as the printing press, steam engine, electricity, and the internet. But the letter also comes with a fair bit of skepticism about the state of the world. Now, Diamond highlighted geopolitical tensions as a reason not to be so optimistic about the future. Um, a good chunk of Diamond's letter covered economic policy changes he'd make in the U.S. Some of the ideas include the importance of the U.S. involvement in global conflicts and repairing the frayed American dream. I don't know how in the world you're going to do that without putting everybody on universal basic income. Diamond's entire career has been in business, but he's hinted at getting into politics when he departs JP Morgan. In 2016, he even said he loved to be president, but acknowledged it to be a long shot due to his lack of political experience. That didn't stop him from outlining some of his plans if he were to take office. Last fall, he explained what he'd do during his first 100 days in office. It included building a bipartisan cabinet, removing the carried interest loophole, and focusing on growing the economy. But Diamond's centrist approach, it may likely make him a long shot candidate for the office, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually made him president. If the powers that be wants him to be president, he will be president. So as we head toward a presidential rematch, we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. Anything can happen this fall. You just never know. But a lot of lending is taking place without much transparency. What could go possibly wrong? The International Monetary Fund posted a blog warning about the rise of private credit lending done outside the walls of a regulated banking institution. The sector, which topped 2.1 trillion last year, is largely unsupervised, making it hard to understand how systemic risk may be building. And they're one to talk about systemic risk. As far as I'm concerned, the IMF has caused global systemic risk by bankrupting multiple countries, but we'll get into that on another topic. And there's still a case for a recession. As economist David Rosenberg cited the famous recession indicator, the SOM rule, which flashes when the 3-month moving average of the U.S. unemployment rate climbs 50 basis points from a 12-month low. While not triggered yet, and it is under the radar, the warning signals are still trouble. Now, Asia based hedge funds are eyeing up the Middle East. Firms need plenty of talent, but there are questions and they don't know about what's going to become the future of Hong Kong and Singapore. Many hedge funds are considering expanding westward into new hotspots like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. An all out AI talent war may soon be underway. Microsoft is opening an AI division in London, which happens to be home to Google's DeepMind. Google is already trying to stop bleeding talent and may now have to work even harder. Yeah, interesting. Elon Musk is turning X back into Twitter. With Tesla floundering, Musk appears to be fortifying his other businesses. I think the whole thing about making X something dramatically different and reinvigorating and reinventing the wheel hasn't really happened. So they're seeing a return to the basics. We'll see how that goes. AI is ruining the Gen Z's dream of becoming an influencer. A recent poll found that more than half of Gen Zers want to be full time influencers. In addition to the already saturated market of human influencers, they'll soon have to compete with artificial intelligence influencers. And who can really compete with that? Well, truth be told, there's a glut of AI YouTube channels. All right, with using the AI voice and everything else. No human being is involved. It's all AI voiced over, and so there you have it. Saving for retirement has never felt scarier, one more confusing. Until the 1980s, American workers typically got pensions in retirement. Now, however, they're shifted to plans like 401ks and IRAs, which have a bunch of downsides. Warner Brothers Discovery can start selling itself. Restrictions that prevented the combined company from buying or selling anything without a huge tax penalty expired on Monday. But very little media M&A is happening right now for a couple of reasons. And in other news, Trump is suing his hush money judge. The best photos of the 2024 solar eclipse are available online. It's been ages since Apple released a new iPad. A fancy new screen is expected for next month. The big challenge for Wall Street CEOs this spring, keeping both of their jobs. And Mustafa Suleiman's first blog as CEO of Microsoft AI is out. A nutritionist who cut down on ultra processed food shares what he used to eat for lunch and what he eats now. How companies are selling their workers on learning AI. And microchip giant TSMC strikes an $11.6 billion deal with Biden to boost production in Arizona. Zelensky straight up said Ukraine is going to lose as Congress doesn't send more aid, i.e., more taxpayer funding. No jail for Marvel actor Jonathan Majors after judge agreed to DA recommended domestic violence program. And a Harvard professor is risking his reputation to search for aliens. Tech tycoons are bankrolling his quest. Well, good luck with that because you're not going to find any. The only aliens you're going to find is demonic entities and fallen angels masquerading as little green and gray men. So good luck with that. What's happening today? The parents of the Oxford High School shooter will be sentenced and Boeing is announcing its quarter 1 deliveries. Other than that, there's not a whole lot other going on today except for, you know, markets turning downward. The Dow now down over 200, Bitcoin now down over 3,000 on the futures. Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about. So today's close, like I said, is really going to be important, how these markets close. So we'll see what happens. I think tonight's end of day watch list report is going to be rather interesting as we're headed into tomorrow's CPI data. So not a lot happening, but a lot is happening. It's sort of like the old adage, hurry up and wait. That's what we're doing right now. Hurry up and wait. So we'll see what happens, folks. I think it's going to be interesting to see how these markets close, and then we'll take it from there. Other than that, I'll see the rest of you tonight for the end of day broadcast, and you post waivers I'll see in the chat room. Other than that, you know the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And on that note, I'm out. Peace.